Hello, everyone. What's going on? If you are around, join me. I'm super pumped to be sharing with you today how to break the rules so you can break through to more sales, because you are here to be making a difference in this world in a way that only you can. And when you're noticing that in your coaching business, it's a little bit of an on and off, up and down when it comes to sales, it's really limiting your ability to have the impact that you were truly meant to have. I'm just gonna see if I can allow Facebook to give you access to comments so I can see what questions you may have. Okay, we'll see if I can figure this out. I'm sure I can. Can't be that hard. So if you're around, say hello. Tell me where in the world you are and a little bit about your business. Okay, I think this is actually what questions you may have. I think this actually already is public. I think this is actually what questions you may have. Oh, so fun. All right. So if you please, ask questions, and if you watch this on the replay, please let me know. I would love to hear I'd love to answer your questions and love to hear your breakthroughs, anything that comes up for you as I go through this. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today, so I'm going to get right to it after all that distraction, is how you can break through to higher sales by breaking the rules. So this is for you if you are a coach and you've been selling your programs in the 3 to 5K range, and you're noticing that sometimes you have great months and sometimes you have not so great months, and sometimes you even go through periods of time where you're just in the desert and it doesn't make any sense to you, and you find yourself really feeling like you just have to figure it out. Like you have this deep desire to serve your clients at a higher level and much more powerfully. And so you notice that your mind, which is on, wanting to serve, and when you're not able to serve, when you're noticing sales are kind of up and down, your mind goes into that place of, what are you doing wrong and how do you fix it? And so then, of course, you think, well, you need a better system. You need a better strategy. You need to learn to write better. You need to learn to coach better. You need to learn to speak better. So it's all about, wanting to, of course, do your business better. And when you're in that cycle of searching for the right strategy to help you do that, what ends up happening is it keeps you in that cycle of no sales or up and down sales, or that dry spell ends up going even longer than necessary. So what I want to share with you is how to get out of that cycle of searching. And instead, I'm going to lead you through how I lead my clients to really get deeper and understand how you can create your own system so you don't have to find a system outside of you and follow someone else's formula or follow someone else's process. And then I'm also going to share with you how to write and speak so that your soulmate clients are lining up to enroll in your programs. And the best part, I'm going to share with you the missing piece that almost what I've seen for all the coaches I've worked with and many of the coaches that I see sharing their services. This is the missing piece that no one is talking about, and this is critical and core to your foundation in order for you to create a system that works for you, in order for you to write and speak so that your soulmate clients are lining up to enroll in your program. And when you get this piece, it completely changes your business, your sales, your delivery, the types of clients you're attracting, everything changes. So if you are ready for that, then you are in the right place. So what I kind of was alluding to in the beginning is, I definitely was in that place where I was in that searching and solution seeking, wanting to find how to run all my systems in a much more efficient and effective way, how to write better, how to serve better, how to put my programs together better. It was all this like better, better, better. And of course, seeing all these coaches offering, systems and processes and blueprints and strategies, 1, 2, 3, it was, of course, very attractive to think that was the answer. And after enrolling in many of those types of programs, what I kept finding again and again was it didn't work. And of course, the reason it didn't work was because it wasn't designed for me, from me. It was designed for them, from them. And so me trying to put myself into like someone else's life or someone else's process, someone else's clothes, it doesn't work. Because it's always going to feel like a little bit of, I'm an imposter or I'm a fraud, or even I remember like having a sales call and trying to follow one of my coach's formulas. And it felt so disconnected because that wasn't really how I connect with people. And so that disconnection, of course, led to that person not enrolling in my program. And this is what I see happening so often is that, of course, when you are wanting to, up level or change some facet of your business and want to have sales, more consistently, it's natural to think there is a special formula, system, strategy, blueprint out there, and to search for it, find it, apply it, and then, think, okay, great, you've done it. And when it doesn't work, of course, that makes everything, you just kind of repeat the cycle. It's what I call search and defeat instead of search and rescue, because we're searching for this formula, this strategy, this system, because we think it's going to rescue us, so to speak, and that it's going to show us what we need to do in order to bring in more clients and have higher sales. And what happens when we're searching from that place is that we end up defeating ourselves. We end up in a cycle of self-defeat because it doesn't work, because it's not ours. It's not coming from our gifts and genius. And we apply it, it doesn't work. So then we feel a little bit defeated, but then we go back in and search for something else and thinking something else in someone else's system or some other coach or some other program is going to rescue us. And so it's setting you up to continue that up and down sales cycle and continue even longer than necessary. I don't think any dry spell is necessary, but when you're in a dry spell, making it longer instead of being able to stop it right away. And so if you're ready to stop that search and defeat cycle, stop the searching and really design your unique system for sales and for success and how you run your business and write and speak so that your clients are lining up to enroll in your program, then this is for you. So the first part, like I mentioned, is how to stop searching and how to design your system. So where this comes from in my process with my clients, and this came from my own experience of having been on that cycle of searching and feeling defeated many times, what needs to happen here is, and this is something, we do need guidance in this, because on our own, we don't see our own brilliance. We don't see our own gifts because we, it's like a fish in water. We kind of take it for granted. We think, well, of course people do this. And so we need, someone to guide us, but to guide us in a very specific and much deeper way than most coaches do. So when you're guided to see yourself, in my process, which I call quantum vision, is that you're able to see yourself from a very, very different place. You're able to, with guidance, really uncover, going through, how I help you do this is going through what it is that's showing up, your specific challenge, and really dive deep into that and see what is the root of that. Where did that come from? What was the story that you created from that? How did that then set you on a very specific path? And how did that start to develop your personality and your unique traits, and even equip you with these specific gifts that are designed to guide your soulmate client in a way that only you can? So when you start to see from quantum vision, so that you're no longer in that place of self-defeat and self-attack and thinking something's wrong with you and someone else out there has the answer, and you see that this specific challenge is actually the gift and is exactly why you are the best mentor for your soulmate client, and how it helped you have a very specific type of personality and traits. And those specific traits are designed to help you be much more successful than you ever could have been without having that specific pattern. So when you see yourself that way, then you start to see you are the only person for your soulmate client that can guide them to their specific desire in the way that only you can, because you're the only person that has been on that specific path, had that specific challenge, had that challenge lead to developing your unique personality and gifts, and put you, in this sort of path that led you to specific educational opportunities, specific jobs, specific experiences that really shaped and honed you to be the mentor that you are today. So when you start to see that, then you start to see, okay, so there is a specific way that you and only you guide your clients to their desired transformation. And when you really connect deeply to that core part of you of, how what you do is who you are and where it came from, and how it's designed to help your clients get where they want to go much more quickly than you did, and to avoid much of the pain that you went through, then you start to be able to have a different perspective in how you design not only your transformational process for your client, also your programs and your offers. And then you can even go even higher and think about, your own value, your energy, your time, and how you want to design your business to support the life that you desire. So how many hours do you want to spend each week in client delivery? And what does that look like for you? How many hours do you want to spend in content creation or in just, playing with creativity when it comes to your business? And then how many hours do you want to spend in connecting with people and engaging and creating conversations? So you're breaking down how many hours a week total do you want to work, and then breaking it down into individual components. And then you start to see, okay, so from that overall picture, then looking at your client and seeing what do they need to get the transformation, how many hours a week, how many hours a month, how many months, how many weeks, whatever it might be, so that you're designing not only how you work, but also how you guide your client, your delivery, from a very different place. You're not starting with, well, I want to make this much money, so I need this many clients. In order to have this many clients, then I need to have, my program to look a certain way in order for that to fit into my schedule. So when we're operating from that place, of course, we're operating from very masculine hustle, numbers focused mentality, which again, going back to the search and defeat, very quickly puts you into defeat, because very quickly, we'll set our maybe numbers really, really high. And when you don't meet them, you're constantly in this place of not meeting your goals, feeling like a failure, and living in lack instead of the abundance, which is who you truly are. When you design from a place of true service, of this is your purpose, this is, what you stand for, and really coming from the heart and designing not only how you work, but who you work with, how you guide them, so your delivery as well as just your overall business model from heart instead of head, then it completely changes how you are running your business. So you're no longer on this cycle of search and defeat, because you're stopping the search. And you're designing everything from a very different place, from a very deeply connected to your purpose, your genius, your gifts, who you are, and who you're meant to serve place. So that completely changes how your business runs. So you're no longer feeling like you're working nonstop and how many more clients can you get in, or whatever it might be, chasing numbers. You're really going after, what is the impact you were here to create? What is the cause that you were here to support? What is your bigger mission? And how does that fit into the life that you desire? Hey there. So that's the first part. The second part is, then how do you write and speak from that place, right? So now you have this quantum vision of who you are and who you're meant to serve and how you're meant to serve them and how you're meant to run your business and live your life from a very different place. But then how do you speak and write so that your soulmate client is lining up to get into your program? And many of my clients come to me with that question of like, I just don't know how to articulate it. I don't know how to convey what it is that I do. I just don't understand, it, because again, on our own, we can't see what it is that we do very well. So how I lead my clients through this is what I call the unscripted masks, because what happens is through our experiences, through our upbringing, through societal pressures, cultural pressures, familiar pressures, over time, you put on different masks for different situations, different people, how you think you need to show up in your business. And so when you're showing up in a way that you think you need to show up, then what happens is again, you're not connecting on a deep core, heart level with your soulmate client. You're still in your head about what it needs to look like for you to be successful and how you need to show up and what you need to talk about. And so you're not talking and speaking from heart, and you're not speaking to your soulmate client. You're speaking from, this is what I think I need to say, or this is what my coach coached me to say. This is how I meant to write, following this specific formula for my post. This is how I'm supposed to, do my titles. So all of it is very formulaic, very prescriptive. And again, when you're writing from, templates and formulas and prescriptions, you're not speaking to the heart and soul of your soulmate client. And so, of course, they're not going to pay attention. And so when you are able to see yourself, that first step I talked about, from quantum vision, then you get to the second step and you're able to take off that scripted mask and really see behind the mask, what are those unique traits that are the bees to honey, or like white on rice, I don't know, all the different metaphors. For it just is, it's like you're a magnet to your soulmate client, because when you take off that mask, you're really showing, you're getting deeper, you're becoming more vulnerable. And those unique traits of you, that's what makes you magnetic. That's what your natural connection, and your natural connection, hey, Fernando, so nice to see you. That natural connection is what is, connecting deeply to your soulmate client. And that is what sells, not like some sales script, not some, following some sales formula, going through, and just yet another sales training, because you have a natural ability to sell. We are all born with it. And we often get it trained out of us through society. And so it's coming back to your natural connecting, natural selling abilities, which are hidden behind your scripted mask. So when you're guided to take that off and see, what are those unique skills, abilities, and traits that are actually designed to help you sell and excel effortlessly, everything changes. So of course, when you're speaking from that place, from a very deep, intimate level, your soulmate client hears you, and your soulmate client is ready to sign up to work with you. No matter what how you're writing, like it doesn't have to be like, oh, you have to follow a specific formula, because it's not necessarily the words. It's how, where you're coming from. It's who you're being when you're writing. It's who you're being when you're speaking that is connecting you to your soulmate client. So then the third piece that I said I would share is the missing piece. And this is what I found in so many of the programs I had been in. And of course, through my trials and errors and tribulations, learned that this was missing. Even though there was a part of me all along that was looking for this, it took having to go through a lot of, not so great experiences to see, oh yeah, this is the missing piece that I kind of knew all along was missing, but didn't quite know maybe how to articulate it at the time. So the piece that is missing that I have found in many of the coaches I've worked with is this deep connection to your relationship with yourself, and how that is a reflection of everything. That is your relationship with your business is a reflection of your relationship with yourself, your relationship with money, your relationship with your partner, with your kids, with your family, with everything around you. So when you can come back to, how can you start to really transform your relationship with yourself, to start to see yourself through quantum eyes, to start to have a deeper level of forgiveness and do that on a consistent basis, to really come from a place of unconditional love when you're sharing what it is that you're doing, and how you speak to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you think about yourself, how you carry yourself. I mean, everything starts there. And when you come from that place, everything changes. For my clients, this has been like phenomenal. Like many of my clients come to me having gone through, pretty long periods of dry spells. And we work on this piece. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Your relationship with yourself is the foundation through which you can start to change how you see yourself, change how you speak about what it is that you do, change how you are reaching out to and connecting with your soulmate client. So, like I mentioned, many of my clients come to me having experienced and currently experiencing longer dry spells. When we get deep into this and really start to transform this, and this is a very specific process I lead them through, they start having people reach out to them, quote unquote, out of the blue. Like multiple clients didn't even, offer anything, put anything out there. They were doing so much work on the inside. And we were also, of course, working on their process and their business, but they weren't necessarily sharing those parts. They had people that had been kind of around their world, but really weren't, feeling the call to reach out. When we did this work on their relationship with themselves, and they started to make changes in their relationship with their family, with their partner, with money, with how they ate, with how they moved. I mean, so many of these things started to shift for them. And then, of course, that was reflected back to them by having clients that were perfect for them, their soulmate clients, reach out asking to work with them and then paying on the call. And this has happened so many times in my business. And I've noticed, when I turn this off, that's when the sales turn off. And that's how powerful it is when it's on. I mean, I have gotten clients from even like, I wasn't selling anything. I was just attending a workshop and some woman asked to work with me. Like, that's how powerful this is. And this is something that for many, I would say actually probably all of the coaches I've worked with, not all of them, most of them, this is missing. And this is the key to really transforming your sales, to really breaking through the sales. And that's part of breaking the rules, is that it's not having to follow a formula. It's being able to see that it's coming from a very different place. It's not a numbers game. It truly is a heart game. So I want to share with you, if this is speaking to you and you're feeling like, you're done with the search and defeat cycle and you are tired of, trying to find the right thing and do the right thing and say the right thing and write the right way, and really want to be running your business from a higher level, from a deeper calling and purpose, and to be sharing, from a deeper place as well, so that you're attracting your soulmate clients instead of, many of my clients too have talked about in the past, they've had clients that they didn't really enjoy working with because they weren't clear in who they were, what they did, who they did it for, and what they led them to, like what their results they were specifically designed to guide their clients to. So that core piece of clarity changes everything. And that starts by going deep into your relationship with yourself and seeing how that connects to your specific path and your genius and your gifts, and how you can start to see yourself through quantum eyes and take off that scripted mask and really, get to a deeper, I kind of call it like authentication of who you are. If that is something that you would, that would really change things because you're tired of going through another system, another blueprint, another strategy, and finding it not working for you, and then feeling worse because not only now is more time passed, but now you've invested more money and you don't feel like you have much to show for it. And you really want your way of doing this to align with who you are and how you want to run your business and how you want to live your life and how you want to be, showing up in the world and the impact that you're here to have. Then I encourage you to book a call with me. I just want to show you what that looks like, my specific program, so you can decide if that is your jam too. So let's see. Okay. So you can see, it's a 60-day program and it's one-on-one. So we get really deep and intimate because this is a very personalized approach that we are going deep into your specific story and your specific path and the challenge that you're currently dealing with, and really getting deeper into what are your unique gifts and skills and talents and traits, and how did those equip you to lead your clients, and only your clients, to their desired outcome. So we start with, how you are seeing yourself. And that, again, is the foundation that we'll get to in that is really transforming your relationship with yourself and money and visibility, which connects then to the unscripted mask, is when you're seeing that you can take off the mask and show up how you truly are and how you are most and best meant to serve, then you are seeing really differently. That's what I talked about with those clients coming out of nowhere, right? That you are seeing differently, and you're seeing, of course, as the only coach for your clients. And then we dive into getting deeper into, writing from a very inspired, intuitive place so that you are serving at a much higher level. And so that's when we go into really designing your process and your program and your offers, and even getting into like what sales conversations look like. So you can see on this slide a short description of each, but all of them are really guiding you on this journey, this experience of you already are the only mentor for your soulmate client. So it's being able to get deeper into what that looks like, because of course we can't always see it for ourselves, and then really connect at a deeper level to your soulmate client, and then to be able to speak to her, write to her in such a way that of course you're magnetic, and of course she's signing up to work with you. So of course sales completely change, business completely changes, your life completely changes. So if you are interested, this is a mid four figures, very reasonable rate, and the breakthroughs absolutely are phenomenal. So if this is speaking to you, I encourage you to send me a DM, and we can get on a conversation and talk about specifically what that looks like for you, and what you're currently wrestling with, and how this can help you get out of that cycle and get into serving much more deeply and receiving in a much more abundant way, as well as, of course, serving in a much more powerful way, because that's what you're here for. All right. So if you have questions, please, of course, let me know, and see you all next time. Bye.